goodness.
Yes. Oh my goodness. He goes, we look like the number 10. I was like, yeah, I need to find me one of those.
Bro, I tell you, there's chubby chasers out here, my boy.
We are recording. It is 9:05 p.m. 9:05. Sounds like dynamite.
Dynamite.
Sorry. All right. Well, do you want to just get it?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's cool with that. Chente is no longer with us. He quit the podcast, and he is freaking stupid. I'm totally joking. Chante's just out of town. He'll be on for next week when we.
How you're getting these people to join the podcast, and they're not asking for any type of money or anything?
Nope. Thank God. Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Andrew got that, and we're 50 Cent. He got the magic.
Bro, he was sending me these emails, and I'm just like, dude, every email. Oh, yeah, love to work with you. I'm like, dude, how does he come on there?
And then when he started, like, oh, this is a potential sponsor. I'm like, you just making all the moves. Like,
dude,
yeah.
I say this with sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a no unless you ask.
That is true.
Bro, that's everything.
When we were fighting like in mixed martial arts and stuff years ago, I had more sponsorship on my second fight than the entire organization.
Yeah.
I lost. I probably should have put my focus into training, but it was a fun experience, and I got to meet a lot of people and get some cool gear.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, and a lot of it too is like, hey, I don't care. I'll do this for free if you don't mind sending us some samples and maybe get like a promo code for people listening.
Yeah.
So at least I almost feel like we should be like, not that I'm not looking to do this as like a full-time job. Like,
yeah,
it's fun. I love it. Like, I have a lot of fun hanging out with my friends, your family, brothers from the mothers.
Plus, if this became a full-time job, would it still be the same? Because, I mean, there's stress behind doing it as it is, but then when it's your source of income, that's more stress.
Big time.
And then it's like, we got to do the podcast, but I don't want to do it because, like, all the drama and the stress that it brings.
Yeah.
We're, like you said, we're having fun doing it, so it makes it more lively each time, and we get to be goofy.
And I think if it was like a lot less stuff on like our plates, it would be like, okay, cool. Well, I'm not editing, he's not editing, or we're not trying to promote it or produce it or like reach out to sponsors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If that was somebody else doing it all, then it's like, all right, cool. I could come in and like, you guys just, hey, can you be here by 7? You're like, oh, I can't. I got to babysit. Like, phone in or something, or like, or it could be like one of those things like you're off at 2, we're available at 2, we could just do it right then.
Could you imagine me phoning in with a baby wearing one of Swanks masks?
The baby got Swanks mask on
to hide his identity. I'm offside studying about adrenochrome.
Yeah,
I have to protect the ID, the identity of the kidnapped kids. I'm not kidnapping any kids.
Blurry faces.
Yeah, with the distorted.
The kids are holding the kids, got a blurry face.
The baby starts crying with a deep voice.
I'm holding a 40-year-old baby.
We got to put a disclaimer. No kids are harming to make it this podcast.
It's the big show. Where the guy with what's the guy's name?
Is that big man breastfeed?
You don't breastfeed him, do you?
No, but like the way I'm holding him, I
got nipples.
No, you're not meant for that.
You can milk a cat. He got nipples. I got nipples. What's his name? Jake? No.
From State Farm?
No. From Meet the Fockers?
It might have been Jake.
No, it wasn't Jake.
I remember his real name, Ben Stiller, but I can't remember his character's name.
I can't either. I never really watched that movie too much. I feel like some people watch movies like over and over again. I'm like, I'll watch it once. If it's on TV, maybe.
I was about to say, that's one of the ones, if it's on TV, I'll watch it. But like Transformers, Fast and the Furious, most of the X-Men, like, how about you watch this already? Yeah, it's just like the 85th time I watched it. So the 85, wow. Where did my English go?
Well, hey, do you want the What's in Your Cup segment for now? We've been breaking the ice since we got here. Cheers it up. Oh,
I forgot to bring my cup.
We need to get you a cup.
Do you want the Quetzalcoatl one?
Here, I will be back with
No, I got it.
After these messages, should we just play an ad?
We'll
just run an ad. We'll be like, this podcast was sponsored by
I'll put the intro
water.
Oh, put the intro.
I'll put the intro there.
Nice.
The Speak in Code Podcast. And now introducing 100 people dead. Chente, the homie. Servant with a noble cause. And Teddy Bear Dynamite. These are the hosts of the Speak in Code Podcast.
Much love, everybody.
Definitely, man. Thanks for jumping on with us. We finally get to have you back.
Oh, because it's like us chit chat, getting ready like you did the last. Okay.
And we got other video that's been going the whole time. So hey, say hello to our outside friends.
Hello, outside people. We are not as weird as you think.
We are.
I am not these two.
Oh, there's nothing in it.
Yeah. I drank it all.
So I am. Well, we don't need to do. I don't need to do my intro or nothing.
No, because I put the one intro right in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I don't
Oh,
have-
Speak in Code Podcast.
oh, like Morse code.
Yeah.
There was
That's
more
what I was
code in
doing.
it.
See, I gotta pay more attention. There's
Yeah.
like a lot of little things that I didn't notice till you guys bring it up.
Yeah. It was fun.
Like-
man.
Like the visuals get at you, and then the sound get at you one way. So it's like when you rewatch a movie, you notice things you didn't notice before.
If in Chetes, it goes, and Chete, and it's like Mexicano,
Yeah.
and then
Dude.
and then mine it does my all my production tag. It goes, wow, Swank, this is hard or something.
See,
Wasn't there a
yep,
Bart Simpson one?
Yeah, it is a Bart Simpson.
Yeah.
yep, and I never knew you had a nose ring until I watched the video.
That's fake.
Oh,
that was
real
Snapchat.
filter.
That was Snapchat.
Yeah.
Okay,
I just don't do videos of my face, man.
gotcha.
I really put that in there, but I really want to kind of remove it.
I already had it, and I'm putting it on all platforms. Yeah. It's gonna be our stand.
Nah, you're good.
It's like it'll be the only thing blurred when people click on the video. It's like we see everybody, but
No. I have my ears pierced, no tattoos. That's it.
Get my tattoo removed. I still probably have 7 more sessions.
Dude,
That
that's
hurts.
I want to add another one.
Oh.
okay.
My face on your back? No.
It's like Steve-O. Oh no, I'll get me with the hair on my own back. Like people are like, you had hair? Yeah.
He had a ponytail. It's all slicked back like
I
that.
showed it to some people at work. They were like,
Bruce.
Oh.
and then it had a barcode, and the part of the Yin Yang Twins song will play. Like, get loose with it. Let Bruce hit it. Have the
Oh.
barcode, they scan it.
We'll superimpose your face on Bruce.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Your OnlyFans?
OnlyFans.
Ed's OnlyFans?
yes.
TBD's OnlyFans.
Or TB? Oh!
Ted's.
Ed's OnlyFans.
Still coming.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Oh!
I'll play to a phone near you.
Bro!
speaking of which, ladies, I'm a professional uncle, no kids. So if
Aw.
you need a babysitter, I'm paid in favors.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh boy. He's
My man. And if you are a fine Latina, this gentleman right here loves fine Latina.
We do.
You can pay me in naked Spanish lessons.
Yeah.
Both gentlemen love.
Yeah.
I feel like Ed, he has an appreciation for all.
Yes.
Sorry. Ed. Sorry. Ed. Thank you.
We're sticking in
I'm
code,
over here cutting.
Yeah, I know.
You're doing you dirty,
What's
dude.
it called when you
I'm
tell
so
like,
sorry.
who they really are?
What is it? Dead naming? I'm
No,
dead
no, no,
naming.
no.
Doxing. I'm doxing.
Dead naming something. Oh, wait a minute. I have to edit it out.
I'll edit it. Sorry, buddy.
No.
I did you.
Might help
dirty.
the ladies find me easier. So
I'm over here doing both y'all.
I'm shadow banned, so
Shadow
good luck. Somebody reached out to Chente the other day on the TikTok
yeah,
because I don't have I don't have TikTok, but I have it linked where I can post. So anytime I post stuff like the shorts, it automatically goes to TikTok. Well, this one dude reached out to Chente. He hit me up. I was like, "Hey man, this dude reached out on TikTok. The comments. It was like, hey, I've been trying to find your guys' stuff on Instagram and like YouTube. I can't find you guys anywhere.
Yeah.
Like I would love to do a collaboration." So he sent me a voicemail and stuff. So we're probably gonna do a collab with them
Okay.
too. For example, like I don't know, like, hey, what are you sipping on? Oh, we got that Conspiracy of a Dead Man drink. You know, like you should check it out. Like, what is it? Like, oh, it's actually this, but it has this and this in there, and then that way you're not feeling that buzz. If you got a little bit of a hangover, like it will help relieve your.
Should we make our own drink and put it up there?
We got
already on it.
Oh, see,
Bro, you know Ecto Cooler?
never heard of
Are you kidding me? You don't remember Ecto Cooler?
Ectoplasma, you know, from
No,
Ghostbusters.
bro. That's what I'm talking about. High C Ecto Cooler, bro. Let me show you this.
We call it drinking.
Mhm.
It's all red.
See,
The
You know,
chrome.
The chrome. The chrome.
maybe I should have took some of that brain stuff because, like, you guys are already ahead of the ball. I'm asking
Dude, I'm
questions,
focused.
and you guys are like, "Oh yeah, we got that in the bag."
You don't remember these? You have to have an LLC, and there's a lot of other stuff that's associated with
Here's
it.
Okay.
how you would do it. You would go, hey, you want to try the Conspiracy of a Dead Man drink?
This
Or
is how you make it.
the SpeakInCOAD drink. This is what we do for. We could be like, we use this product that's we're sponsored
And you
by.
put it on the screen.
And we
Okay.
go, here's what we mix to make it. You could be like, I use fresh instead of like making a margarita
Yeah.
with lime. We could be like, we get fresh lemon, we squeeze it in, squirt a little bit of the lemon oil from the zest into the drink, like to rim it or
Yeah.
whatever. Rim job it. No, but rim it, and then you could be like, I use fresh agave, or
Okay.
just like sweetened syrup, and then on ice, so it's a little tart from that instead of. You're good. We can edit all that out. You need to take it at all? Oh, okay. So, for example, we could just do like the fresh squeezed lemon juice on ice with a little bit of agave syrup.
Yeah.
And then it could be like, and then we use this product. So instead of it being like a margarita, but instead of using tequila, which would make it a margarita, and instead of using lime, which would make it a margarita, we could be like, we use this mushroom elixir type drink
Okay.
that you get no hangover, you get straight up focus, helps with your memory, and it also helps make you relax and calm. So instead of being like a downer, like beer would be, or too hard of an upper, like a energy drink would be, this stuff can actually just bring you to that mellow level, but keep your focus and your memory. You're not going to be a loss of words, all
Okay.
that stuff. So it'd be like a healthier alternative to the margarita, and we could call it the Coda-rita. I'm kidding.
See, and look, you see how quick he put all that thought into it? I wish my brain.
Well,
Work
here's what you could do with yours. You could, you want to try that teddy bear dynamite drink. You know, put the dynamite in that teddy bear drink. You know, and you could be like, I use this. Well, like say for example, what alcohol do you normally like? What were those vodkas?
Which one?
Weren't they flavored?
Like the ones for the Halloween party?
Mhm.
That was the double chocolate vodka, the caramel kiss, and then the Mozart chocolate cream liqueur.
So what you could do is you could do that, right? So you're making it all like that, but say there's a specific vodka you use,
Okay.
and then you could be like, and this is my favorite chocolate to use. Say there's a specific brand chocolate, or if
Okay.
we sold our own packaged chocolate, you could be like, I get a little bit of chocolate shavings, and that's the dynamite. That's like, what's it called? What, the gunpowder?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, you could be like, this is that not gunpowder for TNT, C4 maybe. I don't
It
know.
is
something like that.
gunpowder.
No, that's good.
It is
Gunpowder.
gunpowder.
So you could be like, this is the gunpowder you have to add to make it the dynamite.
Okay, I can see that.
You know, something like that. And then it's chocolate milk. You know, like you could be like, I use that all natural chocolate milk or whatever. Or like, I don't know if you guys are lactose. You're like, I use that chocolate almond milk. I use the teats from the almond and I made my own milk. I milked the little.
No, we milk the cow.
Milk in the almond teats.
Yeah.
Not milk and almond.
Almond's got nipples, Jake. Or no, I don't know his name. It's not
Jake.
Jake.
Yeah, Jake.
From State Farm.
I'm gonna be like kicking myself. I don't remember why. Okay, anyway, so or you got anything else to say? I feel like like a robot. So is that computing? Got a
95
I have a mind virus.
I have the Wi-Fi virus.
I don't know what I was gonna say. propaganda does not compute. I believe everything I see on TV and read on the newspaper.
That was perfect. I mean, isn't that why we're doing this? Because people are robots.
Yeah.
I thought there was a better word, but no, robots is it. People are robots. They're sheeple.
Here's
Some people are even proud of it. No, what were you saying?
No. You're good. I could come back to the sheeple thing because I have some ideas on that. But I think we're good for the icebreaker if you guys are.
Yeah,
And then
I think we can go fishing in that thing now.
So our first episode we ever did was an intro to everything, and we pretty much just talked a little bit about different conspiracies or different things that we may or may not believe in.
Yes.
And then we just kind of had like a percentage. I feel like 100% you've met them, seen them, were there, or experienced it. Where like you believe it, you're kind of like on the line, on the fence. I feel like that's your 50% line.
Yes.
And then like you're more than 50%. I feel like you could be anywhere from 50% to 100%.
Okay.
But I feel like 100, you've been there, you've seen it, you know for a fact that it's true.
Okay.
And then like anything below 50%, or like, I don't know, 5%, you could do flat earth, globe earth, hollow earth, that type of stuff. You know, like you could kind of give an idea of what that is.
I honestly myself don't think I'll ever be 100%
Oh.
on it.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. I thought like, oh wait, we're gonna touch on that later.
Yeah.
But like, I honestly for myself don't think I'll ever be 100% on anything.
And that's fine. That's the
Because-
skeptic in you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because like, even though I see stuff, then sometimes I see other stuff that makes me doubt the first stuff I saw, and I'm like, I don't know if I believe that the way I believed it before, or maybe I believe it a little more than but so I don't know if I'll ever. I think I'll always be like 85.
That's good. That's probably a good number. And honestly, there's probably a lot of stuff you'll be less than 50.
Okay.
Just because you're like, I don't. Even if there's things that you know are true to the point where you're like, I could speak on this topic.
Yes.
You still might be like, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't feel like that.
Because like we all have different experiences, so what you may have seen about a situation is your truth. Like
Yeah.
it's weird. The truth is supposed to be the truth,
Yeah.
but there's perspective.
Yes.
So what you
100%.
see is your truth because you saw it from this angle. But I'm looking at it from like a 90 degree, and I'm seeing it slightly different than you see it. And so now we all have different angles. In my opinion, that's why we're always arguing, whether it's religion, politics, abortion, global warming, because we each see things from our own little corner, and then it's kind of hard to see from everybody else's corner. And I love this podcast because at least we can like talk about our different perspectives and still have a good relation. Like, this election, no matter who anybody voted for, all these reports were like, well, I'm not talking to this person because they voted for Kamala because he voted for Trump. But I'm like, I got people that voted for either. I got some people that said I voted for myself. Literally, they signed in their own name, voted for themselves. I had 2 votes last year, not last year, but last election. 1 vote this election because I have a friend.
How'd you get 2?
Because 2 people voted for me in 2016.
Oh, wow.
What?
Yeah, they didn't
That's
like.
called election fraud.
They didn't like either candidate, and they wrote my name in.
Somebody wrote you in. I'm thinking that they gave you another ballot. I'm like,
Here's my ballot. I'm going to
we
vote.
said it was stolen. Now
You just openly discuss.
It's like, whoa.
I voted 6 times. And whoa! I voted 3
And I
times
was
in
like-
California. I'm not even from there.
No, they didn't like either candidate, and I was like, I wrote your name and voted for you, and I was like, thank you.
Maybe we should do that. But do we put your act or your TBD? We have to know your real name.
I mean, if I become president,
Really?
what are you gonna do? Shoot me? Oh,
Yeah.
it's like but there's so many people arguing like, if you are a civilized person, I'm not saying I'm the most civilized, but I'm civilized enough to know that we have differences of opinion, and we can still have those differences of opinion, and then still get together and have conversations,
Absolutely.
and not be belligerent and call each other names and call each other retarded. We can sit here like now and discuss things, conspiracy, politics, religion,
Space being fake again. I mean,
and then still, like, hey, you want to go get a drink after this? Because, we know that, like,
do you want to try a teddy bear dynamite drink?
yeah, it might make you believe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good tagline.
Yeah.
Turning the frog again.
Oh,
But
yeah. What drink would that be? Oh, man.
Don't drink this. You'll turn gay.
Yeah.
but still, like,
Float your boat.
how often have you guys been in situations where that's happened? where people you think should be able to discuss their differences, but they get in these blown out arguments, and now this person's over here, and they barely look at each other when they're working together. And like, why is that deep? Why can't you see that, like, we can agree to disagree?
Yes.
When did that stop happening?
I was going to say, I noticed that this seems to be a recent thing. Like, I would say since social media, Facebook started blowing up bigger, I think that's when we started noticing people were like, if you don't vote for my self-interest, you can't be my friend, which is like extremely stupid. Like,
nobody has the exact
same idea about things. We vote for our own self-interest at the end of the day.
But isn't that what we're supposed to do anyway?
Exactly. And then you get some people that are like, I'm not trying to be your friend anymore. We can't talk. That's stupid.
I had somebody tell me, I was like, well, I'm voting on like what I feel is best for me in a way. And he was like, that's selfish. Like, you should be voting for other people. And I'm like,
isn't that what everybody's voting for anyway? Whether you voted for Trump or Kamala, that person, that candidate, what they said is what you want.
Exactly.
So that's why you're voting for. So everybody that votes is selfish because you're voting for the candidate that has the ideas that you either believe or buy at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Like, the dude that said that to you, who's to say that he's telling you that because it's or she?
No,
they're telling you that and it's not benefiting their own self-interest.
Yes.
Because you're telling me to vote for your self-interest. No, I'm going to vote for me.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I have to be the one that has to live in my experience. You're not the one that has to live in the world that I live in.
Yeah.
And we maybe have totally different, completely diametrically opposing lifestyles.
Exactly.
And see, like, for me, it always comes down to the deeper, more meaningful stuff of everything. So when I do make my selections, it has to do with bigger than, even though I am being selfish about this, it has to do with the fact that I feel like what I'm doing is going to help people in the long run. Okay. If I vote for what I believe is best for me, at least.
Yes.
Because I believe I'm not opposed to anyone else living their own lifestyle. But at the end of the day, that we can all look at the world and see that the world is going a different way that may not be comfortable with us, or it is comfortable with us, and that's what you're going to vote for.
Yes, that's 100% it.
I heard one thing though, like it was, especially like pastors will tell you, like, vote with conviction. Pray for somebody. If you feel like this is the person I need to vote for that person. But it's. The best way that I could explain it would be like if you have people that want to wear green all the time.
Yes.
And then you have people that are like, well, I'm mad that the green people are wearing green. They should be wearing some other color. So the best way that I could explain that's just like the generic version. The deeper version would be like spiritually or like religiously, like you're getting mad because people are living in the world and they're living worldly, but they're voting worldly too.
Absolutely.
And then you're wanting them to vote based off of your religion or based off of your spirituality and stuff like that.
Yes.
So it's like you're getting mad that people are acting worldly and they're living that way, but you're wanting them to vote and live more like religiously or spiritually or like just in a way like, I guess, good. You're wanting evil to vote good, and you're wanting people to live good, but you get mad when evil's evil. Does that make sense? Like, or I'll give you a better example, and I'm just using this as like an off topic, but like, let's say pro wrestling.
Yes.
You have the new bloodline, and then you're getting mad at Roman Reigns for still wanting to be the bloodline tribal chief. So you got a guy that's a heel, and you're getting mad that he's a heel. He's been a heel. Yeah. He's not going to change and be like, oh yeah, no, all of a sudden I'm going to be a baby face. He's been a heel for such a long time. But then as soon as he starts becoming a baby face, you see that he's still itching to become a heel and stay the heel.
Yeah.
So you almost get mad at them for not wanting to be a baby face or the good guy when their whole time they've been a bad guy. They've been a great bad guy. And you could see that they want to pull some of the people that are baby faces into being the heel, but those baby faces are still trying to stay good and trying to keep doing the good stuff, where the heels are still like, we're still going this way. We're still a heel. We're still doing bad stuff. We're still getting DQ'd, or we're still interfering in these baby faces matches. But then these baby faces are like, well, maybe they are turning good. Maybe we'll go to them and vote for them. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. And you just broke down politics.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because people, like, no matter whether Democrat, Republic, Independent,
Yep.
people was like, well, why are they doing? They always do that.
Yes.
And now you're mad because they're doing what they always do because you figured, oh, they've lost enough times, they'll change. But, like, if this is what they believe in, they're going to keep pushing that agenda. They're going to keep pushing that idea.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, how are you going to get mad at the people that have shown you their true colors, in lack of a better word?
And here's what I think a lot of politicians would be like, you're like, oh, I'm going to vote for this guy. This guy's the baby face. But was Stone Cold ever really a baby face?
No.
He was
the
heel, but we
anti-hero.
just loved him.
He was the anti-hero.
Yes.
So the anti-hero is still the heel, but they're trying to get other people to vote for them because they're like, I'm the bad guy, but I'm also the good guy. I'm one of you guys, but you're like, you're a rhino.
I think
You know what rhino is? Republican in name only.
Oh.
So it's people that will vote Democrat, but they always are running as the Republican.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a new term for me.
And then you get like neocons and stuff like that, which are new conservative people that like vote old school policies.
Okay.
But they're like war
war.
lovers. Yes, they're extremely hard on war. They love war.
Lindsey Graham is one.
Yeah.
Well, because
Mike Pompeo.
isn't that where all the money? Even though we spend so much money,
Nikki Haley.
isn't that where all the money is? Even though we
In
spend
war.
so much money on it, we make so
Well,
much.
they
money
make us
because-
Halliburton.
Yeah.
But
Dick Cheney.
see, what I've noticed though is exactly based off of what you were saying though, is they try to apply to people's self-interest. They try to go, okay, how can we get as many people as possible to turn heel for the things that they feel benefit them, or the things that we can attach our heel to, that people will then have no other option but to choose us because they have no other option but to follow what their self-interest is.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that's fine. See, I think when we remove all the social stuff from politics, that's when we'll really get to politics.
Yes.
Because right now it's social issues over social issues over social issues,
They
and
don't
nobody
want
takes.
us to get to that.
Exactly.
That's why they keep. And I never even cared or thought about it. I thought it was different. I thought it was a little weird, but that was their business. Now I'm an adult and I have like all these opinions, and I'm like, but I only have these opinions because they keep bringing it up on the news.
Exactly.
They keep bringing it up in politics.
Fact.
Because when I was younger and I was hanging,
I have extra bed, but you don't have to sleep in my room. Get bunk beds.
whoa,
Though. We can get bunk beds.
did we just become best friends?
I think we're all there. Anyway, I think that will be a perfect transition program for merch.
Merch, y'all. We now selling merch. Yes. Yeah, merch, y'all. We now selling merch. Get your merch today. We're ready to blow the safe. Stickers and
What else?
t-shirts and
Okay.
mugs and cups and
That's right.
we now selling merch.
Stop the record.
Now back to your regularly scheduled programming.
I'm kidding. No, but
merch.
so is that cool with you guys?
Oh yeah.
Change the topics. All right. So this will be the intro.
All American stickers, cryptids, cults, and killers. We got all your favorite conspiracies, all of that and more on our sticker sheets. Paranoid American stickers, they'll make you smile and snicker. False flags and secret societies, all of these and more on our sticker sheets.
Explore the unique with Paranoid American sticker sheets. Unearth tales of cryptids, cults, and mysteries through each sticker. These won't last long. Get yours now at paranoidamerican.com.
We're all American stickers, cryptids, cults, and killers. We got all your favorite conspiracies, all of that and more on our sticker sheets. Paranoid American stickers, they'll make you smile and snicker. False flags and secret societies, all of these and more on our sticker sheets.
What the heck are you waiting for? Discover the extraordinary with Paranoid American sticker sheets. From cryptids in the night to cults out of sight, each sticker is a unique find. Get yours now at paranoidamerican.com.
your American stickers.
All right. Well, I think what we'll do tonight is just like an intro to everything, but we could start off slow.
Nice and slow.
Let me see here. So we'll give you guys tonight. We'll give you the topic, and then we'll kind of go into like what we believe, what our ideas are of it, that kind of stuff. That's cool with you. And then we'll just go alphabetically. And there's always going to be more than one letter. Of course, we don't have to do all of them. We could just do like one basic one or something like that for each one.
Makes sense.
So the first topic will be aliens.
Illegal or outer space?
Oh, well, we're done with the political talk for now. So we get to the deep state. No.
How do we know there's a difference between the?
Huh?
How do we know there's a difference?
Between what?
I said illegal or out of state. So what if we say, oh,
Out of
France
state
is
or outer space?
out of country,
Oh,
outer space or out of country? What if like we say France is another country? What if France is another planet? What if like all these different races we're all literally aliens visiting? Like, oh, America is a planet. I'm just making
Josh.
stuff up. Yeah. But you never know. Like,
yeah.
I
Sounds
mean,
racist to me. No,
well,
I'm just kidding.
it touches on another. It touches on another one. Like we touched on flat Earth and how everything is broken down, and how's that wall in Alaska?
Yes.
Well, how do we know that? Like, well, we do know because of like the flying. But what if originally, before planes, before boats, we all considered each other like aliens? Because I've never seen an Asian, I've never seen a black person, never seen a white. Because everybody was segregated until we figured out ways of seafare and airfare. And then but now because we're actually intelligent, we realize we're all people from different countries. But how do we know space isn't like that? Like, I don't believe there's aliens, but I believe there's aliens. And I don't know if they're little green people or they look just like us, but space could just be like our planet. There's different cultures on different planets. And then sometimes some of them are advanced enough to visit other planets.
Okay. Is that your only take on aliens?
It's one that comes to my mind or foremost when I think about aliens.
Okay.
Not my only take, but like when I think about aliens, I'm like, because to us they're aliens because they're possibly from outer space. Because most people, when you think aliens, you think little green men or three-eyed people, but they could look just like us. Like, who's to say like we in ancient times had technology better than now? Because we've touched on that with like, because some people believe aliens are in the Anunnaki, and so
that's another A one.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. And we what's the word I'm looking for? Like, because we went out and dropped people on other planets, and then aliens could just be us returning back here. Because think about it, space travel. They say it'd take us how many years to get to Mars? And let's say we back in ancient times had advanced technology and could go further, but then you get stuck there. You have to rebuild your technology. You get back here, you're a whole advanced civilization, and we've had to restart over here. And so we think they're aliens. They're just us from a time when we were better equipped before whatever happened had us reset our clocks.
That makes sense. I see what you mean there. So, like, for example, if we were more advanced, we could go explore space, but then say there was like a global reset here, or like there was like a mass flood, or there was a huge cataclysm that happened. So then the people that are actually out there, they're trying to get back, but they don't have that kind of communication.
Yes.
For us here, because we don't have that type of information like we did anymore, because they burned it all up after the moon landing. What are your thoughts on aliens or aliens?
This one's probably gonna be different.
Okay, hold on. Sorry. What's your percentage of aliens?
That one falls lower. That falls about a 70.
Wow, that's high.
It's still high because, like,
jeez.
According to what they tell us, the universe is this huge place.
Yep.
And if we're listening to what they say is in this huge place, we're the only life forms out there, that's hard for me.
Oh, I think she jumped off the couch. That scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, I was like,
my heart just jumped. I was like, oh my gosh.
oh, they're
That's
talking
somebody
about the
who's
wrong
coming up the
things.
Steps. I'm like, oh, nobody lives out there.
Shut it all down. Put the black bags over their head.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh.
It's like, of all the topics we've
Get
touched,
the
this is the,
tinfoil.
yes. But like it's still high for me because like I do feel like that. Like we were the only
Say
ones
that
out.
again. It was high for you.
So,
Yeah, 'cause I just burped all into the mic.
yeah, it's
Sorry,
still
bro.
a high percentage for me because like this is the only planet with advanced life. Like there could be other life forms. They could just be lower than us. Like we're the only planet like it to us at this level. But let's say it's a planet full of amoebas or a planet full of dogs or a planet full of chimpanzees. But what if also they are advanced than us, whatever they are, and they know other people might come looking and they want to stay secluded. And so they're able to disguise that they're advanced. Like if there's this many planets, there's other life out there, even if it's not life by our standards. That's what I think.
Okay.
Okay, so my thought process about this situation is a little different, and I think
Me and him are on the same page.
I don't know so much if it's a space thing. I think it's a dimension thing. Now imagine what we live in is this thing, right? But there's like a sheet or a veil.
Okay.
Aliens are entities that can pass through that veil, in and out of that veil.
Okay.
And to us, it seems like they're coming in and out of our experience or in and out of this plane of existence. But really, they're doing nothing more than it would be like us, you opening a door and walking through, and you're there.
Okay.
And I see it as like we haven't made any major advances in physics since the 50s. If you look at physics, that we're still stuck on string theory, and they still haven't found a way to kind of branch out, or they have, but within the physics community, they kind of don't want you to go any further than this space that they're kind of set us in and say, this is what we believe in physics.
Yeah.
So I believe the concepts that would allow us to understand what aliens are being hidden behind these walls that block us from understanding the physics of things, understanding the science of things.
Okay.
Because I believe science can prove everything. Because God created science and mathematics. In my opinion, this is what we know, because God can be quantified. So we know that his language is pretty much math and science. So how is it possible that this entity that is God or whatever wouldn't have had some experience where there's like a veil that you can pass through? Because imagine Christ, right?
Yeah.
He came through the veil and experienced what it was to be a human.
Mm-hmm.
And he lived in the flesh of a human. So obviously the infinite was capable of passing through the veil and experiencing the finite.
Yes.
So that was made possible by some form of otherworldly experience. Who's to say that someone like Christ wasn't an alien? He could walk on water. He knew things that no one knew. He was able to speak to the Creator and have experiences with the Creator. He was there 1 second, he wasn't. So, in my opinion, I think that aliens are beings or entities that pass through that veil.
Okay.
And I think that it's farther beyond the concept of planets and all of that stuff. I think all of that stuff is kind of like it's so mind-boggling to the human species that we don't understand it. We think it's this big black endless thing, a void of whatever. But what is a fish tank to a fish?
It's this whole world.
Does a fish not realize that it's living in a tank and that's it's being kept after, and somebody's watching it and observing it and taking care of it and keeping track of it? And
I love and hate where you're going with this at the same time.
Okay. So
because
so
like you
let's-
said, it's so
wait though.
mind-boggling.
So wait though. Then going deeper. Simulations or understanding of this world not being a reality.
Mhm.
We have to understand that the Bible tells us that the flesh is meaningless. That this is nothing. This experience is an experience. There's nothing more.
Mhm.
That Ted is, which I'm going to believe that. Ted is just Ted. You're here to experience Ted. Code You're here to experience code. And if we're really breaking all of this down, every single one of us are aliens. We are existing in the void of space on a rock that is floating in a timeless void.
Yeah.
Aliens are whatever we perceive them to be, but I'm telling you, aliens have existed since the Bible tells us, because there are demons, there are flying things that flew through the air, or whatever we perceived it to be flying through the air. And I just feel like the whole concept of aliens is totally misappropriated because we don't understand. We don't understand the deeper connections between that. So I believe in some form of concept of whatever an alien is, and I think it's probably somewhere like 80%.
Okay.
For me, because if I understand that the world that we live in is nothing more than just this space of time and space that's collapsed together on itself that allows us to experience what it is to be in the flesh, why isn't that there aren't administrators that are coming into it and changing things and fixing things and putting things in the place that they're supposed to be? Because this has all been written. It's all been told that this thing will happen, and there's nothing that's going to stop it. And things have to be put in place to move it around like a chessboard. Who's to say that administrators, angels, whatever, haven't come into the veil and they live in what we see as the flesh, but it's an illusion to us because we don't understand anything deeper than that. We can't see into the spirit, or to us, we all are sitting here and we experience each other because we feel each other, we see each other here next to each other, but we don't know what we are deeper than that. I could be some totally different experience or totally different being, and you would have no concept of that because we see with our eyes, and we see with such a small, minuscule frame of light reference that we really don't see anything.
Okay.
So, again, I'm sorry, I'm going deep into this. I think that's where my concept of the alien thing is, and for us to believe that something like that doesn't exist, I don't think that we don't have enough proof to say that it doesn't exist or it does. But if we believe what we believe, then there has to be some sort of cosmic understanding of what we are experiencing here. And because we are mankind and we're not meant to know anything deeper than that, I guess at the end of the day, we'll probably never know. But I don't know. I think that there are.
Okay.
So yeah, and then you said 80%?
80%.
Okay. Now, aliens, outer space, or interdimensional beings for you?
Oh, see, I always think outer space when I think aliens,
But not inner space.
but not
Inner space
or interdimensional. And hearing his explanation, and now I want to hear yours because, I can see that because
We're not trying to change anybody's minds. You know, there's going to be
You
topics.
just about did on it.
Yeah, there's going to be topics where we're going to just throw our own ideas out there, our own opinions. These are our own opinions and our own thoughts. And by next episode, they might change to something totally different. So it's not like we're going to be stuck in our mind. There's going to be theories that we're going to talk about on this podcast where it's we don't agree with it 100%. We're this is not real. But we're going to perceive it as it is. If we have different people on with different conspiracies or different ideas or different thoughts or different I don't know, just different ideas in general, we're not going to belittle them and tell them they're wrong. We're going to listen to their stuff. We will treat them as if they are 100% correct, and then we could talk about this and do another intro to everything another time too. And so.
I like that you said that because this is our second one.
Yeah.
And I want to go back and listen to our first one to see what my answer to this question was to that and see how much it has changed.
Well, Chente mentioned something similar to what he said about possibly God being an alien to us. And you were like, I never now, hold on. We could talk about that topic another time.
Okay.
So for me,
we know a future podcast.
Yes, because we've talked spirituality and religion and stuff like that too. And I think there's different ideas that we have, and then there's different things that we can pull other ideas and have a bigger picture on these things too.
Yeah.
So for me, I think that aliens are not from outer space. I think that they are interdimensional beings, which would be demons, which I believe 100% is real, but it doesn't, I don't think that they're coming from outer space. I think that they're within our realm, in different realms. So for example, if you have our earthly realm, this is the realm that you can touch and feel everything for in the human body and the human experience. Then I think that you also have the spiritual realm, which would almost be as if it's like if you were to talk to God, or you felt God, or you felt the presence of God, or felt the presence of the Holy Spirit type of thing.
Yeah.
It's been explained as the wind.
Okay, well, let me give you a different topic, which would be a little further. You mentioned the simulation theory. I believe that with us being in this dimension, in this realm, this is like our video game experience from our perspective. But with the spiritual realm would be like the Holy Spirit or your tutorial. You know, if you're playing a game, you notice when you go off the path and then you're like, the game either gets harder, the game starts glitching out, the game starts, and you could put that into, I almost don't want to talk about that topic yet, because I could turn this all into like religion thing. But all right, for me, I feel that the aliens are interdimensional beings that were demons and fallen angels, and tied them into like the Nephilim. I feel like that's where their spirit can come into our realm, but we can't go into their realm. They're in a different dimension. They're in the fourth dimension. We're in the 3D dimension.
I have a question for both of you because you brought up dimensions.
Okay.
Is it a completely separate dimension here, here,
No.
or parallel? They exist right now with us, but we can't because
The Upside Down and Stranger
They're
Things is
stacked
hell.
on top. They're stacked on top of each other.
And this is what I think.
You know that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No.
I was gonna say, you know the concept of seven heavens.
yeah.
These are all experiences that there's 7 floors of hell. Why is it that there's 7 floors of hell? There's 7 floors of heaven. It's all the concept of dimension. And you also have portals in your body. And this is regardless of whether we want to believe this or not. There are portals within a human's body that open and close. These are called chakras. And regardless of whether we want to believe that this is demon worship or whatever, there are portals that open within our experience. And we get to allow ourselves to embrace positive energies or negative energies, which I believe frequency regulate which dimension you fall into. Oh, so this dimension is a physical experience that I'm in, but maybe in this dimension something happened to me that I don't recall, but that's why I experience this dimension. So it's like, imagine you're like walking. Every step you take is as if walking into a different dimension. And that different dimension may be minusculely different in each dimension that you pass through, but you're passing through experiencing different things. And it's part of this simulation concept that when you program a computer, that computer has to anticipate the next move.
Okay.
Has to.
I'm gonna let her in. Sorry, she's barking like crazy.
I'm over here going off.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Sweat too, for sure.
This is not a lap dance.
So, like I was saying, bro, like we're living in one physical being, but we are experiencing different simultaneous experiences and dimensions. Because think about it like this. Right now, I could snap my finger. This is one dimension that I snapped my finger in. There are probably countless dimensions that I didn't. There are countless dimensions that experience the same thing where I'm not talking about this.
Multiverse.
Exactly.
It's like almost the same principle as multiverse. Okay.
Yes. And what
I had to nerd it up to help me comprehend it, but it's same principle.
Exactly. And then in the experiences we have change the dimensional frequency that we experience throughout the course of our life or experience.
Okay.
So let's just say you make this decision that has counteractive repercussions in the long run. Let's just say you, like the butterfly effect.
Okay.
You stepped on this. You stepped on this one thing. Now your dimension has changed. Now you are in a dimension that you stepped on this butterfly, and now you move forward into different dimensions with different choices that you made. But you are the same entity that gets to transverse all those different experiences.
Okay.
That's why God says we will make them in our own image, because God has no concept of time, has no concept of physicality, has no concept of anything that we get to experience as human beings. So as human beings, we get to experience a fraction of that. And that fraction is being able to control our destiny, the free will that we get to make, the choices that we get to make. The choice is this. At the end of the day, we have the beginning and the end of our lives. We all know we're going to live. We all know we're going to die. That life expectancy can be this big, whatever. Based off of what? Choices. Every choice we make in this experience as human beings forces us into the next page that turns. And now the dimensions keep turning as every single experience we choose makes into the next. Some of the choices we make put us in bad experiences where, why is my life like this? Why am I struggling? Why am I hurting? It's because you made choices down the road that put you in the situation you're in.
Okay.
God has given us infinite free will, the ability to choose where we want to be, who we want to be, how we want to be. We are the ones that put restrictions on ourselves.
Okay.
We're the ones that tell us, oh, I'm only capable of this. You are capable of unlimited things. And that's all through God. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
And now I want to know, what about the butterfly effect?
Wait. Oh, I gotta get my. Okay, so I think that they're interdimensional beings. I don't think that they're from outer space. If they are from outer space, I would say maybe 5%.
5% for outer space?
Yeah.
So I'm only connecting it to outer space right now.
So the percentage would be higher if you were going the other routes.
Interdimensional demons, yes, 100%.
Okay, so I'm with you then.
Yeah.
That it's probably smaller for the outer space concept, but then way higher for the dimensional.
Interdimensional. Okay.
And I could break that down more, but I feel like we would have to go into more of a, what's it called? Not heart. What's the thing that did the Mandela effect?
Oh, the
collider? Higgs boson? Yeah.
Yeah.
The super collider?
Yeah. I think I would have to like tie that in first before I started going into different dimensions and like Stranger Things type of stuff for different timelines. Personally.
Like at one point in time they did research and realized that the world was going to end, so that they tried very, very hard to force us into a different dimension that existed after the world was supposed to be ended.
And that causes Mandela effect?
Yes. Because now we're not living in the original dimension we were supposed to.
The timeline.
Now we're living in a different timeline. One that they had to choose that was as close as possible to the timeline that was the reality. That's how you get Berenstain Bears when it's Berenstain Bears. That's how you get all these different things, like, I don't know.
Like the Oscar Mayer wiener spelled different ways. And Fruit Loops.
And
when Mandela himself actually died.
So now in this dimension or this experience, those things have changed a little bit, like Fruit Loops or fruit, Yeah. Now it's different, and that's the only thing that we are able to cognitively realize that's changed in this dimension. When in reality, there's probably many different things that changed.
Okay.
And we could get there when we get to the Mandela, when we get to M.
Sorry.
Here's just messed up. We started with aliens.
Yes.
And aliens has made us touch like 7 different letters
in
one conversation.
Yeah. No,
it's really me, bro. I'm sorry.
You're fine. You need to get in more? Oh, sorry. No,
he just likes when I'm close.
Yeah. All right, and then we'll do. You want to do? We cool with going to the next?
Oh,
topic?
yes.
All right.
I'm a believer. Now, I guess I can't say I'm 100% because I've never been stuck in or seen it, but I'm there. So I'm a good 85%. I think real Among Us. Right. What is Alien though? Okay. Could be We was talking about like grays, green men. Exactly. Okay. I'll do that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I believe.
All right. Well, do you want to bring us into the conspiracy theory trivia?
Yes. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to do a fan favorite conspiracy theory trivia board game. We don't have the board, but we have the game.
I'm bored. No.
It is where I ask questions I know nothing about, and I act high and mighty when I give them the answer.
Because he's teaching us stuff.
Our first topic is mythos.
Ooh, there's mythological creatures, mythology, or something else.
Something else. Okay. Which of these historical figures does not have a conspiracy theory stating that they never actually existed? Buddha, Muhammad, the Dalai Lama, Jesus Christ.
Wait, what? Can you say that one more time?
Okay. Which of these historical figures does not have a conspiracy theory stating that they never actually existed? And the answers are Buddha, Muhammad, Dalai Lama, and
he's alive
People can
today.
visually see.
Yeah, he's alive today.
and the Dalai Lama is the correct answer.
Julio's, yes.
Makes sense.
Oh, that sounds like a Bray Wyatt theme.
Hey, speaking of which, I know this has nothing to do with what
Sounds
we're
like a
doing.
Pokemon.
Do they have his old music in the download pack?
I think so. When he's the Fiend.
Oh, like
when
the
it comes
original.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, not the new orange one, but like the original, like
It's the one
where they sing it softly.
I think the
Where he used to wear the Hawaiian shirt.
yeah, but I think he's the what's it called guy, the action figure.
Oh, okay.
So was that all of them?
That was before.
All right, cool. Then you want to give us like a 6th thought for the days?
I can do that. Good people, lend me your ear, so I may bestow on you the thoughts of wisdom that have come upon me. A mistake that makes you humble is better than an achievement that makes you arrogant.
Facts. Wow.
But think about it, like even now, especially within the social media society, it only expounds on what people used to do because magazines help too. We all put out like, what is it called? Like your best face, like when you're going for a job interview.
Yeah.
To society, we all put out like what we
Like a
want.
facade?
A facade.
Oh man,
Thank
for
you.
sure.
That's the word.
Oh, you know what?
We-
I used Lion's Mane and Magic Mine. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that is great ad right there. But we all put out a facade, and so like how I said, yeah, be who you want to be, not what others want to see. So
And it rhymed.
it did rhyme. So like what he was saying earlier about like the social issues, and I say this because I found myself doing this, and I had to force myself to stop, especially when it comes to topics like gay or transgender, and should they get married? Should they be allowed to do this? And I used to always try to find like the most politically correct answer because I wanted people to feel like I'm not for it, I'm not against it, I'm just in the middle. Even though I am truly in the middle, but I used to always like phrase my answers to the way people were like. And like, so that's what I wanted people to see, and they weren't seeing me for who I really was. Because like you were saying, I hung out with gay people. I have family members that are gay. And then like when politics comes along and people get to arguing, now
You flip it when the government comes along.
yeah. So you got to. I got to say this so people don't think I'm like this. But like, I don't care if my cousin's gay. I don't care if this guy I'm hanging out with is gay. It's like as long as like
Their D doesn't go by your B.
Right.
yes,
But they don't try to come on to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord, come on you.
Oh,
because like
Sorry.
I hate to say this, like some of them are cooler than the straight people I know. Like I hate saying it like that because it's like even though they are their own people, it still sounds like I'm dividing too much. But it's
Conquering. No, I'm kidding.
But it's like I was finding myself saying answers like, "Oh yeah, well, this and that," but like I was like, I really don't
No.
I
don't think any of us really do.
Yeah,
but I think they make us do.
exactly.
Because when you can only be subjected to so much being forced to have to embrace someone's lifestyle or the way they are. It's like, I'm not out here going, embrace me! Embrace this that I like! I like wrestling! Like wrestling!
Exactly.
Do this! If you don't like wrestling, we can't be friends. Like, that's stupid, dude. It's like,
Try to
dumb.
work friends.
One of the reasons we did bond. But because like I don't like when people are like, what do you think gay people should get married? I'm like, they're not marrying me, so why do I care?
Right.
I was like, and then there's like, oh, what if your kid was gay? And I'm like, is the person he's been treating him right? Is he? I hate to say this, but is he acting too weird? Because like, I hate even gay people say this. There's gay people, and then there's gay.
Yeah.
Like if he's still himself and he's not like, I hate to say like forcing his gayness out there, but making gay his identity. Because like I'm black, but I don't think black is my identity. Like
right.
People make fun of like OJ when he goes, "I'm not black, I'm OJ."
Right.
But I understand what he
O.J.
means.
Simpson?
Yeah. He said, "I'm not black, I'm OJ." But I understand what he meant because like, because like black is who I am, but it's not all that I am.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what he was trying to say. He just phrased it wrong. And so I think a lot of gay people feel that some people make gay their identity.
Yeah.
Some people like they feel like I'm gay. That's not like all that I am. That's just a part of me that's out there, and I'm letting you know so you don't get like weirded out by it. And so I think some trans people feel the same way. And then we also like, well, they're pushing the agendas. Like, but is it really those people pushing the agendas, or is it like the politicians and the deep state? Because like we said, they want to keep us divided. Like there are some issues that maybe we do care about, but do we care about them as much as we're being forced to care about them because it's always being shoved in our face? Yeah. And so to that quote, be who you are and not who people want you to see, because I think a lot of people out there, they're throwing these opinions that they have about it because this is what I'm supposed to, especially because like when you tie in religion and politics and sexuality, well, because of years of conditioning to where if you're this religion or that religion, you have to see, oh, well, it's an abomination. Women should only do this. But like, did you really care before it became a publicized topic to talk about?
Not at all.
When you were in your home and you were with your friends and you were with people that live this lifestyle, was this a big issue? Right now, because like this can get told to other people, I need to say it like this and let people believe that this is what I believe. And it took me a while to realize that I was doing that. And then like once I stopped, like I felt like this weight was lifted. Because I'm like, if I have a gay son, oh well, I have a gay son. Like, do I want my son to be gay? No, because like I want grandkids.
Right.
But that doesn't mean he can't like the gay people adopt, gay people find people to be surrogates. So I could still end up with a great kid. But like because everything is supposed to be traditional, it becomes an issue. It's like, well, you can't have grandkids, you can't do that. And they break it, they make I can't remember who I heard say this, but they make micros macros or vice versa. So little small minute things.
They pick and choose.
Yes.
It's like I'm picking and choosing to be bothered by this thing, but I'm completely unaffected by the fact that I cheated on my wife.
Yes.
Or I cursed this way, or I've done this, or whatever. It's like you're picking and choosing.
Yeah.
Like all sins are equal.
Yeah.
And we're not the ones to be sitting here telling people that they're not going to heaven anyway. And honestly, most of the stuff that we've conceived in the Bible has been interpreted, unless it's in the red words. That's the only thing really. I mean, Jesus said the red words. Everything else has been an interpretation from somebody else.
Yes.
So Paul said that this is between a man and a woman and stuff. It's like, okay, whatever. That's your perception of it. It's like going to church and you only understand God through the guise of the understanding of your preacher. And he says that I'm the only way. This is the only way to get it. No, come on now. Yeah. Like you're trying to position yourself in between the truth and what you perceive it to be.
Yes.
And everyone should have their own personal experience. And it's like, at the end of the day, the things that connect us are far more powerful than the things that draw us apart.
Yes.
And if you pay attention to the red words in the Bible, Christ said to honor the Creator as the only one true God and to love and honor your neighbor as you do yourself. I'm sorry, But that gay person over there, I have to honor them as I do myself,
Yeah.
regardless of whether I agree with their lifestyle or not, whether I believe that whether they're married or not, I still have to honor them. Because God is going to pay attention to my spirit and the way I treated those people too. So I can go through life judging and having all kinds of negative opinions about these people, talking bad about them, dogging them. God knows my heart. He saw me. He saw me. And under the guise of somebody else's concept, God loves every one of us. He loves all of us, regardless of whether you choose to be in love with a man or not.
Yeah.
He loves you.
Because think about this. Let's
And
say,
our job is, sorry.
I was gonna say, let's say like when they say like gay people are going to hell.
Mhm.
Let's say that is true and that's
Right.
what happens. But because you wanted to be a butthole about it and treat them some type of way,
They're
now
gonna
you're
make
sitting
them. You made them a martyr.
but now you're sitting in the same hell together.
Exactly.
Because like
Ooh.
because you weren't really like you're supposed to follow Jesus. You're supposed to love thy neighbor, like you said. But you weren't really loving your neighbor. You were bashing them and you were ridiculing them. And it's like God is the ultimate judge.
Absolutely.
So like you're supposed to be in the world but not of the world.
Amen.
But you became
We
of
just did a full
circle.
did full
Yeah.
callback.
So instead of just being in the world and living godly, you became of the world and treated them like the world would treat them.
Exactly.
And now it's like,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
you go ahead because I'm not sure I was going to phrase what I
It's
was going
like
to say
this.
right.
It's like this. Code. You do something bad to your sibling, your sister. Is your dad not going to look at you and go, "Why did you do that to your sister? How dare you put your hands on your sister? How dare you do whatever you did to your sister?"
Yeah.
It's the same way God feels about every single one of us and every single one of his children. There was an entity that came into this experience to show us how to live our lives, and he died for our sins. He was the walking epitome of God's word.
Yeah.
And he showed us how we should live. And he honored and loved everyone. He honored and loved the thieves, the robbers, the murderers. He literally was hung on crosses next to people who committed horrible atrocities.
Yeah.
And he forgave them on the cross. And these people made it to heaven because he promised to them that they would. Come on, like we have to pay attention to the word that we've been given. The word is that we should honor and love each other regardless, because our Father's paying attention and he knows. And there's a reason why Christ was killed, for us to be able to survive, for us to be able to live. Now we have to take into account that we must matter in some way very greatly to God for him to do that for us. We have to be loved for some major reason why he came down here in the flesh and died on a cross to show us how to live our lives, and we refuse to live that life.
Yeah.
We refuse to choose him. We embrace all the time what we are. It's me. I'm this. I'm that. That's how I am. That's who I am. That's not who you are.
Yeah. That's the facade you want to put on for everyone.
Exactly.
Because like again, when you're by yourself, no one is around.
Do you
have
care?
those?
No. You're not like, you know what? I think it's really nasty that dudes like dudes. No, nobody is doing that.
I think it's really nasty that I have to like see it on TV.
Yeah.
And again, like I could just change the channel, but like this is one of my favorite channels, and I just I know that sounds so horrible. But I know people that have literally stopped watching shows because of that. And like I can understand that. Like there's only so much of what is different to you that you can accept. But when you start letting it affect the way you treat people, I think is where the real problem lies. Because we said it in the beginning, like we all have different religious beliefs, political beliefs, sexual beliefs, but like we can still coexist. We can still have conversations like this. When you start letting it like make you ostracize people, I think that's where the issue comes in. And I think that's why society is like it is now, because it's easier for us to ostracize people than just coexist peacefully.
You know, based off what you were saying, I'm thinking this. In the human condition, the condition is this. I want to point out your flaws so that my flaws to me seem insignificant. So now I'm going to point out your flaws because your flaws to me are worse. Even though I'm sinning and I'm doing all this horrible, dirty ass stuff, doesn't mean that I'm above you. And that's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem. The biggest issue we experience as human beings is in some way someone miraculously brainwashed us into thinking that sins are different, have different levels of capacity. No, they're all the same.
Yeah. I think they're all the same on a level. Like you look at it as probably from God's perspective or God's view. But I feel like there's certain sins where it's like, if
The
that
punishment
happened,
for that sin is maybe worse than other sins.
yes, 100%.
Like
homosexuality is
No. Like hurting a child.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's like those are one of those things where it's like,
Yeah.
you might be.
But then also again, we're factoring in culture and that big T that you were talking about and the little T, because there's the big T, objective truth, and there's the little T, which is subjective truth.
Yes.
Every single one of us subjectively experiences what our truth is, and then collectively we experience the big T, objectively.
Yeah.
There are some cultures in the world, for God forbid, that think it's okay to do whatever it's to children. They don't care. They don't have that type of thought process that a child is in this precious thing. They don't
That's
think
when you get your little boy.
exactly. No, that's
I am not promoting murder, but
Sorry, we'll edit all this.
I've always wanted to be an assassin.
Oh.
And if you have a hit list of touchers, I will not make them disappear in a tub of lime.
Oh.
Or
Lemon.
Yeah, lime. Yeah,
Yeah.
Lemon Sprite.
lemon lime spray.
This podcast was brought to you by Coca-Cola.
Oh, so what did they start talking about?
Strychnine.
Yeah.
Your friend.
Sprite, the new way. It comes with
Home
bromelain.
Depot has the best leak-proof tarps.
Tarps. Cool.
You have a what is it? You have a really nice tub. You got a porcelain tub.
Downstairs.
Ajax cleans those really well, so no matter
Porcelain tub.
how dirty they get, you can get them white again.
And they are not a sponsor of the podcast.
Yet.
Don't
inject yourself with Ajax to get rid of COVID.
Yeah. You guys cool though? You good?
Yes.
Anything else? Any other thoughts?
No.
Got anything you want to say to the fans, to the listeners, to the friends, to my parents and Jack listening? They're the only 3 people that listen to the podcast.
No, we've had
I know.
more.
I'm kidding.
I was like,
hey, you got to think into the future.
I know.
Yeah.
I just joke.
We're already there.
Yeah.
because
We get more listeners.
when
than
I
that.
was listening to the other episode when it debuted live, I was at my brother's house and I put it on the TV, and my nephew goes, "How'd you get on TV?" And I was like, "I've been on YouTube." And then like I backed out to show him. Like I was like, some of the videos have more views, and I'm like, I gotta look at the topics to see like which topics we hit.
Yeah.
And some have like 3 views, and others like 300 people watching
Yup.
this one. I was like, oh, okay, what were we talking about? We get 300.
We got like 260 some subscribers now on YouTube alone.
Just even look at the subscriber count. I was just looking at the views per video.
And
He
TikTok,
goes-
we got people reaching out to us
Yeah.
on TikTok to
See?
do collaborations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like,
What happened to the Discord? It like disappeared.
No, it's still there. It's just we don't post as much on there. I started posting recently, but
yeah, I don't think
Gente's the only one that
even
goes there.
other people, because like Suburban Mama used to post a lot, then 2 Jacks, and I used to get like notifications unless I turned the Discord notifications off.
I turned mine off.
Nobody's really
It's
really
really
posting
okay.
on there. Yeah, I mean we could get on there more often, but I feel like we need to do like a watch party on there. Like, hey, everyone. But
Oh, like we did when we did the.
yeah.
Did I say the wrong name? When we did the Cowabunga dudes?
Yeah.
The Cowabunga.
I don't know if we can say it. I don't know if we can say it for YouTube.
That's why I switched to the Cowabunga
That's
dudes.
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's heartbreaking.
Like we can't say that one.
What? Really?
No.
Really?
No. We can't talk about that.
Really? That's
We
crazy.
can't talk about that. We can't talk about that one.
What does it say?
oh,
Uh-huh.
we can't talk about the movie where
Even though that she's like in video saying super pro.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
we can't talk about the alien that turns invisible and shoots people, and Arnold said, "Get to the chopper while covered in mud."
No, we just can't talk about her.
Dude,
In that light.
censorship sucks.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Even-
censorship,
Even though I can pour bleach on like all my hard drives and like crush them and destroy them and like get rid of like a whole bunch of like actual public information and data and like escape any type of repercussions.
even
for it.
during an election year,
Oh yeah.
It
During an
was
election year.
before the election year.
It was during an election year. She did it the same early on in the year.
that's what
I might be wrong.
No. You might be right. You're probably right.
It's
Probably
all
right.
a conspiracy.
Because they're like, oh, we heard this, and I'm what?
People conspire.
Speaking of censorship, we can be found
Speaking
on
in code.
multiple platforms.
Oh yeah.
YouTube,
YouTube, Spotify, Rumble.
Podcast.
Is it on Deezer?
I think so.
Yeah, I think
So on D's not. So
Uh,
if there's a video of
Did
us
you-
that you was like, hey, I saw it, I didn't get
Odyssey?
to finish it, and it just vanished, check some of our other sites, and maybe there'll be snippets or clips or
the whole video.
The whole video.
The whole video. They didn't get sponsored or censored by a company that starts with
Well, we'll
Y
give
and
you
ends
the
with
truth and nothing but what we think might be the truth.
So help us.
Oh, definitely, because I need all the help he can give me.
Yeah.
Have you?
And our powers combined.
I can't make it through this life without.
Captain Planet.
I can't.
I could be Captain Planet, but I don't have the body.
You could be like John Cheadle.
Come
Don
on,
Cheadle
bro.
version.
That's what I want to be like, but he still had a better body.
He looked like toothpaste. All right. But you got no more words to explain to the people?
Oh no, just that shameless promotion of where everybody can find us.
Cool.
I am very shameless.
He is. And he likes it.
Hey,
They show
it's
boobs.
okay.
Women that like shameless men. Professional
Uh,
uncle.
you got any final thoughts or words for the
No,
day?
man, I just want to say, thank you guys all for paying attention and watching us with your time, because I know your time is valuable.
Mhm.
And, I just want to say thanks to my guys. This was awesome experience as always.
Yes, sir.
And miss you, Chente. You're in my heart, in our hearts.
I light a candle.
The
You wanna-
deuce.
The deuces.
Acknowledge him.
We acknowledge you, our tribal chinte.
Our Chente.
I love you, my tribal
Our
chinte.
tribal homie.
My tribal.
Our tribal.
And the V is for Vente.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Vincenzo.
Oh,
Oh man. All right, guys. You just listened to the Speaking Code podcast. I'm Code, Conspiracy of a Dead Man. Chente.
Swing.
Swank, Chente, TBD's,
Sir.
TBD's
No
nuts.
call.
Yeah. I'm Code, Conspiracy of a Dead Man. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Keep on questioning. We out.
I love that he still did the pun.
Yeah.